Welcome to Fans, your favorite East Texas podcast, coming at you live tonight. The Texas High School Football Show is back. It is week 6. Is that correct?
Close enough for government work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's week 6. You're 3. Yeah. Join us tonight, a.k.a. Gary Ivins, Big Nasty. I messed that all up. How y'all doing tonight?
All happy to be here, boys. Can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be. I can tell you that.
I am trying to get my YouTube TV logged in on my second computer to turn this Yankees game on. I know y'all all got it on, and I left you in the living room with the TV.
Well, I'm waiting. We got a little 2-2 pitch coming up in here to Grisham, and I sure could use a little bloop Texas leaguer.
Yeah, I think we.
Bases
But man, it's been a long week of football. You know, we had a busy day Saturday, NFL football. Then Saturday you get a lot of good college football. Then Friday night you get our Panthers on the road headed down to Barbers Hill, and it just didn't come out the way we wanted to come out.
You know what bothers me about the whole is you looking around the state, they just see the score 35-7, and you think that they just beat the heck out of us. Like that, we were never in the ball game, and that's so far from the truth. I mean, obviously, I think they had more plays in the first half than we did in the ball game, but at the end of the day, you know, we've got ample opportunity not only to be in that game, but be leading the ball game in the second half. And we just did not make the play when we needed to. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. I was going to say it. I mean, how many times do we have the ball on a short field in their territory just starting a drive? So it was definitely there. It was just couldn't pull it out.
Yeah, our 5 starting positions in order in the first half, the 38, the 44. Well, it would have been the 44, but we got a 15-yard face mask that moves back to the 29. Then the 5-yard line, the 28-yard line on their side, and the only one that was in serious trouble was when we started back at the 25-yard line after one of their scores. So, in all, you know, 2 started inside their 30-yard line, and the other 2 started, you know, outside the 35-yard of ours. That's great field position.
Yeah,
Man, that whole game, you know, you feel like you go in the second half. When you go in the second quarter, and we were down, and it was 0-0, and they come out scoring, you know, start of the second quarter, and you kind of feel like you're feeling this ball game. And you know, like we all said and talked about on the way home, you know, and you just said it right now, Gary. You know, you never felt like you were just out of the game yet. You know, we felt like we could hold them right there, and we still had a chance. And then it just gets to the point where, you know, we just kind of lose the momentum at all. Like we lost, you know, all of our momentum. And
well, I can tell you right where it was.
do you call it? Do you say it's in the end? You know, that we're in the red zone, getting ready to score, and we have the fumble.
No, I don't think that was it. I think the wheels came off and everybody let go. We're all pulling on the rope. Everybody's helping out. We're pulling on the rope in tug of war. But when that interception came in the third quarter, when it's 13-6 and the defense has played so good, and we scored a touchdown, we got a 3-and-out, we get it back. It's like 8 minutes to go, third quarter. We got 3rd down and 4. And again, I don't know if it was a wrong route or a bad pass. I don't know. All I know is Coleman was past the linebacker. And if that ball's thrown out in front, it looks like to me, not only is it a big play, it could be a really big play. Either way, we're going to have a first down and moving the chains. But instead, it's an interception. They get it down at the 15. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone. And I'm telling you right now, everybody seemed to have let go of the rope at that point.
That's a good point. You know, you make that point. You know, I think it was a little screen pass outside of Coleman, like you said, and we just didn't capitalize right there. And we had a lot of opportunities like that all night. We just didn't capitalize, and we had some great field position, like Trey said, and you know, we had some opportunities set up in our favor, and we just didn't take advantage of them. You can't win ball games like that, especially on the road against, you know, good disciplined team like Barbers Hill. I think Barbers Hill came out, you know, they had the juice. They came out fired up for this game. They wanted it. I think our kids wanted it also. But, you know, when you're on the road playing a team like that, you can't fall behind. You can't fall behind far. You know, we've seen that many times in Lucky Panther football history. You go play teams like the Woodlands and all these big teams on the road, and, you know, they're going to be good games. And you let them get out. You let them get out in front first. You got to have a way to answer and answer quick because you know they got the momentum. They're not going to stop doing what they're doing. And it showed Friday night. And you know this has been one season we can look back and say our defense has played lights out pretty much every week this year, and they continue to with the front 4. You know, you have Webb, Davis, Bogney, and the other guys right there. And then you know it's just been one thing that's been hard to do is run the ball against the Panthers. And when you're on the field that many snaps, you're going to run the ball against Panthers because our kids are going to get tired. And you have to start rotating. And when you get in those situations and offense isn't backing you up and scoring, that's going to happen. So hopefully, we find a way this week to come out and capitalize offensively and put the points on the board.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. You have those positive field position spots.
2 drives, 8 yards, 7 plays, and we got 2 punts to start the ball game.
Yeah.
You got to take advantage of that.
Yeah. The defense just played really well. And like you said, they ran almost twice the amount of snaps that we did in the first quarter or in the first half. So you just going to get bogged down. And then when you play well, put your offense in a position to hopefully capitalize, and they don't, it's got to be, a little deflating, but having to come back out, and they still fought, and then it just got to a point where I think they just got beat down, just tired. I mean,
I want to ask you a question. You've been around football a lot longer than me and Trey have been on this earth. You've seen a lot more of it. I know in my business what I do, it's, when something's not going right, you can always kind of put a finger on it and say, okay, this is the issue. We need to fix this. Like when you're at a football game like that and, everything's going and, the time's ticking and, defense is out there, offense is out there, no matter what. As a coach, how do you pinpoint that problem in your head? Like as an offensive coordinator, like how do you sit there and analyze that with not that much time and, you've already game planned for something else?
Well, I'll tell you, at all my years of following sports in general, I said the 2 hardest things to do in coaching, in my opinion, is be an offensive coordinator at football and a basketball coach. And the reason I say that is there's no time to make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Like it's go. You be first and second. I need somebody to tell me the down and distance. All right, I got 3 plays for this. And it's not something that anybody can do. And if anybody says they can, they're out of their freaking mind. It's the 2 hardest things to do in sports to me. And really, offensive coordinator at any level of football is number 1 because there's just so much that you got to take in and process before you make that call. But at the end of the day, I would think that we got 4 or 5 plays that we know out of anything, we're going to have everybody on the same page that can run it right. And when stuff's hitting the fan, so to speak, I know I can run one of these 5 plays and get 5 yards. We got to have that in the playbook. And man, we didn't have it on Friday night.
Yeah, I agree. You said offensive coordinator being so hard. I mean, on the flip side, the defense has been playing well, but the biggest evolution in defense at any levels has been putting 2 high safeties to keep, Peyton Manning from dicing them up and throwing for 5,000 yards a season. So it's like you've seen the evolution in football of it seems like every year there's a new hot guy coming out with a different offensive philosophy that works, and then the defenses, sort of adapt by putting, maybe more athletic defensive ends out there. That's been the biggest thing. And but everybody does it differently on offense, and it's got to be hard.
The other thing that I'll bring up, and I didn't keep an accurate count, so I don't want to say that I know exactly it was 8 or exactly it was 9, but I know for a fact, and maybe it was just on the road with these different officials, I don't know, but it just seems like we're having a lot of penalties every game. And Coach Apsick even talked about this. Every time we looked up, it was 2nd and 15 or 2nd and 18. And, I'm not saying it was all the offense that got the penalties. Some penalties are better than others, but man, you can't give up a football field worth of yardage and penalties. It's going to set you back. And, man, that was a huge difference on Friday night.
Yeah. And, what I realized since getting older and actually watching the ins and outs of football, penalties are so important. And having a kicker is very important. And you see that a lot on the collegiate level. You get, these guys get in bad field position. They can send a guy out there and he kick the ball halfway, dang near down the field. And you can still put the defense back deep. But when you're giving the ball back to the offense in the middle of the field, in scoring position already, and your defense has been on the field so much and they're gashed, all it takes is 1 or 2 plays and, they're ready to run the ball in the the end zone. So, one day we got to clean up, and it's kind of like what Texas A&M is doing right now. The Cabo Fund, they've got so many freaking penalties that, every time a kid gets a penalty, they're making them put money into the coach's Cabo Fund. Yeah, I'm not saying our kids are going to do something like that, but you got to hold them accountable. You got to be disciplined enough to know when to just walk off, put your hands up, you just walk off, or keep. It's just little stuff that's biting us in the butt. And those little penalties like that, we say little, they're big penalties because they're 15-yard penalties. And you can't just have those all night. You can't expect to win a ball game fighting the refs like that.
No, that's exactly right. And again, Coach Apsek kind of said this perfectly Monday night. We were at South First Street. It's not the quarterback making. Okay, maybe yes, the quarterback had a bad play, but this play the offensive lineman missed a block. Well, that play the receiver ran the wrong route. It's not one group making the entire offense, kind of bogged down. It's somebody on each play screws up, and that is what you got to fix. And I don't know what the answer to it is, but that's what you got. You've got to get everybody rolling in the same direction. And boy, right now on the offense anyway, I think we got 11 different paddles out there, and they're all going north by northwest, south by. Nobody's going in the same direction.
Yep. I just counted them up. Looks like there's 13 penalties in the game, but 6 on the offensive side of the ball. So
I'm talking about blocking.
And it was early when you look at the play numbers. Yeah, it was on 17th, 23rd, and 25th play of the drive. So killing him from not being able to start in the right spots. Like you said, 2nd and 15. Coach talked about it on Monday. It was the execution. Like they didn't execute, the other team did, and you just fell behind. And so they have to execute, get in front of the chains, I guess create more third and manageables and just let Waters get the rest. But it wasn't great, definitely from the offensive side of things.
31 yards at halftime it's not going to beat anybody. And that's what blew my mind when I watched the film of Barbara Seal. I was like, okay, we can run the ball on these guys. I thought that the whole week. I told you guys that last Wednesday. And, I kind of asked Coach, well, what did they do something different to curtail our yardage? And he was like, no, we just kind of kept shooting ourselves in the foot at different spots and big times. And just like 1st and goal at the 4. And, I don't know what exact play we're running, but we pretty much fumble a snap, and then 2nd back at the 12, Williams is wide open for the touchdown. We throw it a little bit behind him and tackled at the 4. We end up not getting in. And that's just, you can't do that on the road against the top 10 team as Barbara Hill is now in the top 10 on this week's new poll.
Yeah. And, like you said earlier, you don't know if it's the quarterback's fault, receiver's fault. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't matter. And one thing we got to realize, and that's just Lufkin as a whole, is, our starting quarterback out there, he's a 17, 18-year-old kid. He's just getting his feet wet playing the position, and he's been injured in the past. He's going to be fine. We got to give it time. I know we don't have much time, but you got to give him time and, let him get comfortable. And I think that the coaches are doing a good job with that, and they're putting him in positions to make throws that, he's comfortable making. We just got to execute the play. And I think as we go through the season some more, we'll see that a little bit more. And, I don't think it's, the time to turn your back on the pack like a lot of people are saying. We're just getting started. We got a lot of football left to play. And I think these coaches are doing a great job getting these kids prepared for Beaumont Westbrook this week.
Yeah, I would just like to reiterate one thing. If you haven't gone out to practice and really dissect practice, see what's going on, I don't think you should have an opinion on who should be playing the quarterback spot. Because I haven't been, and I would never do that. But I'm just saying, you say, okay, well, he's not making this pass, and he's not making that pass. I can promise you he's under duress. That was all night. And as Coach Apsek told us on Monday, we got kids that aren't running, they're running bad routes. And when that happens, you mix up a bad route with a little bit of a bad pass, and bad things are going to happen. And so, you're right. I'm not sitting here. Always the most important or the most popular kid on a team that's sitting at 3-2 is the backup quarterback. And I'm not saying how good he is or how he's not good, but Javion's a starter for a reason. He's got athleticism, and he's a great leader. And I just think he's going to stand up and have a home game this Friday night in his last homecoming that's going to save our season and get us a win.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you get punched in the mouth like we did last week and you get a game at home, especially homecoming, you're going to have the whole community behind you. The fan base should be out there loud and, cheerful. And, this is a game for you to come redeem yourself. Go out there and show us the leader you are. Like Coach Apsek talked a lot about him being 30 for 30 during the summer. Kid didn't miss a workout. He was always there. He was uplifting his team, being a leader. And that's something he worked on this offseason, is being more vocal. And I think he's doing a great job of it. He's gonna show us what he can do. He showed us 2 weeks ago against John Tyler in the second half that he can make those big throws, and he did it. He made it happen. But, one thing we got to do is stay behind our quarterback and, keep uplifting him and get him ready for Friday night. And I think we're going to do a better job Friday night. I think Coach Cook is working very hard with his offensive lineman to give him some better protection. That's where it starts at up front. The big boys, they got to give us the protection. I'm not saying the big boys are not playing good. We've been talking very good about our big boys up front this year. So I think, it was just one of those games that we just had to get hit in the mouth, and we're going to have to wake up from it. And like somebody said online this week, it's better to get beat early than get beat late. So, I think it's going to show us a lot about, who we are and, what we can do. I can't remember the team, college football, somebody the last couple of years, they came out and they got beat a couple of times, early in the year, and they come out and win the national championship. It's just, it's just part of it.
Well, yeah. How when the emergency alert system comes on and something bad's coming and it's warning you that something bad could be coming, that alarm is coming Friday. Like, if we don't win this game on Friday, the alarms are going to be sounding. And if you start looking, I kind of looked up the Region 3 playoff bracket and how it's kind of unfolded. You don't get second and third in district. I'm just telling you, you're going to have to go into round number 2. And we're going to win round 1. But LaPorte and Angleton appear to be the best 2 teams in the region. And if you pull out and get 3rd or 4th, you're going to be itching into one of those in the second round.
And it's funny you say that. You look at the Consolidated district, and it's normally Consolidated College Station. You got Pfluger Weiss, Austin Anderson, College Station, Consol, and College Station's down this year. They're still going to make the playoffs in that district.
Yeah, probably so. They're going to get 4th. I mean, they'll get 4th.
They'll get 4th in that district. Well, they'll be a better team by round 2 of the playoffs.
Yeah, but I just don't want to have to get to Angleton unless I have to, until you have to. And I'm telling you right now,
I don't want to put Angleton or LaPorte second round.
We need to win Friday. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I really think that this past game really showed our coaches and these kids a lot about key points you need to work on. Like Coach Absett touched on, we know we have to work on this. We got to work on that. We got to fix this, and go out and put it all together Friday and make it happen. Let's go win a ball game.
That's what I mean. You got to think the way the defense played, the offense plays shade better. That game is close late. Like if you think this game, you put a grade on the offensive side of the ball, say it was probably a D. Well, I mean, what's going to happen if Javion comes out this week and offense is playing at a grade of an A? Like how good is that going to look? Because if you got the defense standing up on that side of the ball, they're not out there all the time, and it's just that's what I think is under there, and that's why I'm excited about the Westbrook game. Well,
Westbrook's schedule, the difficulty of schedule is not even comparable to ours, but they're scoring 40 a game and giving up 8. So, the stats say they're really good. But, again, they have played Eisenhower, who's not very good, Lumberton, MacArthur, and Silsby. So, I mean, it's not exactly Longview, John Tyler, and Barbers Hill. But I will say this. Last year, they only threw 8 passes. The final score, I believe, was like 29. It ended up being 29-3. But in the third quarter, it was like 13-0. And Anderson ran for 148. But as a team, and this is what kept the game so close, 44 rushes for 253 yards, and they completely dominated the clock. Now, the difference this year is they're averaging the same amount of rush yards as they are pass yards. Anderson's gone to work. He's a year older, and he can spin it. And he's got 2 receivers out wide that can go, so they're not as one-dimensional as they have been in the past.
Well, one thing their defense is kind of playing week in, week out. Those big boys up front put the pressure on, and let's let Sam and Keyshawn and the rest of those guys go to work, and let's try to, stop what we can stop and make win a ball game.
Well, so what are you doing this week to get ready? I mean, offensively, what's I haven't had a chance to get out there this week. I was going to try to go today, but something came up at work. Your coach Absek, your coach Kirkendall, what's the major thing you're focusing in on this week at practice? Let me hear it, boys.
Well, if I had any say, which I know my say doesn't matter, I'm a couch coach. I actually coach better from recliner. I really don't know. I really don't say you change much. You keep doing what you're doing, and you got to sink in the plan a lot faster. I guess you got to come out. We can't come out sluggish like we've been, and get the ball rolling a lot earlier. I think I'd like to see Javion move around a little bit more and utilize his legs. But who am I to say? I'm his booster club.
Booster club.
But you're the president. But there's that. I think at some point we got to find a way. We've always had a guy to stretch the field, and we can run all these bubble screens and rub routes and everything. But at the end of the day, everybody's creeping up. The entire defense is creeping up, not into the box, but they're close up. And either we A, don't have enough time, or we don't B, can't get a receiver out wide to run that route to get behind the defense. We did it against John Tyler. We won a football game, but we've got to do that to get those people to respect the deep ball.
Let me tell you something funny. Sunday, I woke up and I was still thinking about the game, and I went and played NCAA on like freshman mode, and I threw for like 600 yards of Arch Manning. Like everything was this vertical play action.
On what mode?
Freshman, the lowest one you can play on. I just went there and I beat the crap out of. It was one of those. I forgot who it was. Probably one of the worst teams in the game I could find. And I just went in there and I just, unleashed some pressure, I guess you would say. And like you said, we got to get vertical. That's something we have not, did much. And I kind of, I kind of get, what we're doing, and I understand what the coaches are putting on the field. So I think, they know what works more than I do. But I would like to see some, just Hail Mary. We used to just throw the ball up down the field. Quinn Trimble, all those big receivers, Kiki QT, Jamal Jeffrey, Jabryce Taylor for sure. Jabryce Taylor was one of those guys you could put out wide and you could say, Jabryce, just go catch it, And it's
Preston, even Preston last year.
Preston, Kimo, just throw the ball down the field and just say, go get it. And I just think we got to find that guy in our offense. We got to find that true number one receiver that, we're just going to put the ball in his hands and let him do what he can do. And Wallace is getting a lot more burn than he has been. And I think that he's, trying to do what he can with what he's been given to him. But, you got to step up. You got to just take that, that next step and say, I'm going to make this happen, whichever way it takes me, I just think it's one of those things you got to do. We got to get more violent on the offensive side of the ball and just putting the threat in people's eyes and just knowing that we're not just going to rely on Kenny Waters running the ball 30 times. We're going to put the ball down the field. We're going to get the ball to Kenny. We're going to get the ball to tight end. We're going to get the ball to hit. We're going to put the ball everywhere we can. And I think we did a good job of that against John Tyler. I think we were very versatile against John Tyler. We could hit you with the pass. We could hit you with the deep ball. We were hitting you with, Kenny get the ball. Tight end had two touchdowns. But he had 2 or 1.
Kenny Waters?
No, tight end.
For us, 1.
Williams.
Williams, yeah, 1.
Yeah. So I just think we got to do, just got to get in the scene. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So Jalen, your first play against Westbrook, you're running 4 verts. Is that what you're saying?
No. I've watched film on Westbrook. They're very athletic. I'm gonna bait them. I'm gonna let it be a Kenny Waters. I'm gonna let it be a Kenny Waters show until they stop him. I'm gonna run the ball down your throat until you tell me I can't.
We are bigger than they are. There's no question. But I'm with you. I mean, but if you've got 5 to, or 6 to block 7, that math don't math.
Yeah, I think it's tough, but that John Tyler game was probably the most complete the offense looked, and it was Javion throwing it, 20, 30 yards down the field, outside the numbers. I think they were, I don't know what routes they were, but it seemed like it was working every time. And he just kind of sat back there, read it, threw it, and especially that last throw. I mean, the last throw to win the game there was very good, but I definitely like to see that. And I don't know, like Jalen said, we're Monday morning quarterbacks. I don't know what the defense is doing or what we're doing, and I don't know. So I don't know if it's time, if it's the speed we have or what it is, but that would seems to alleviate.
Oh, he dropped it.
Waters to
my bad.
Get working.
What are y'all watching?
He's got
Cincinnati Dodgers game.
Really? We're breaking down the Panthers in detail, and you're watching baseball of all things. Why don't you call Cobb on here? Let's get Cobb on here talking about baseball.
Now, I got to ask you a question, though. What do you think makes people feel so comfortable getting on social media and talking about playing the quarterback position, and they never did it before? It's like, let me tell you something. After last Thanksgiving, Me, Trey, and a few others went out there played a little pickup game on the golf course. And, you ain't got long to make a decision throwing the ball. So I can only imagine what it's like with 7 humans.
And that's what you
running at
non-athletic characters. Can you imagine when you got beasts in the game?
Yeah. Like you got 7 grown men, teenage men running at you, ready to take your head off. And you want me, you want to tell me that it's easy for me to make a decision that quick and make the right decision that quick. And it's just that easy. So
I think we've got a fundraising idea for the sideliners. We throw every Joe Schmo that wants to run his mouth back there and just let us, like at the end of the spring game or something, give them 5 seconds, let the receivers go, and then like a 5 Mississippi rush, and then you just bring rain on them.
Is it touch or tackle?
Huh?
Is it touch or tackle?
It's going to be tackle. Tackle-wise, we might get some liability problems, but it'd be fun to see.
It's kind of like what Nasty and JT said about me. All state and what? Because it ain't football. It's the buffet line or something.
Man, I'm telling you, it's keyboard bandits. A lot of people have this ability to type in anything they want to say, but they'll never say it to your face. And that's the kind of person I just cannot take. And that's what you're seeing right now. You're going to go out there on a message board and bust up a 17 and 18-year-old kid. You don't know what he's going through. He's got to go to school. He got all kinds of things going through his head. And a grown-ass man can go on a message board and bust up a kid. He needs to be busted up. That's what I say.
Yeah. And, I've said my fair share of things about quarterbacks. And there's some that just, deserved, everything that, was said because they just couldn't get the job done. But, we're sitting at 3-2. It's the first year under new head coach. They're working everything out. Our kids are learning all new stuff. So, it's hard for me to just sit here and say, oh, man, we got to get rid of this kid. I can't find myself to say that. And, I think that the fans, especially, this Friday night, it's 4th down in Barbers Hill. And a lot of our fans are just sitting down. I've been a Panther fan for a long time. And I don't care if it was kickoff, 3rd down, 1st down, 2nd down, 4th down. Our fans were on their feet. I like the defense chant, the LP chants. Where's that all at? How do we get that back going? Do I need to call Caleb Latham myself?
Well,
I what do we got to do?
I've never seen adults at a football game act some of the way I saw Barbers Hills guys act, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we'll go to the next subject, but we got to talk about one thing before we switch over. How good did you break up?
I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
How good did that tunnel?
Yeah, what'd you say?
How good did we take down that tunnel and put it up and get it loaded that quick Friday night?
We needed
that
time.
Probably
a lot quicker than we found something to eat on the way home.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
True.
Hey, before we switch over this, Trey, will you run us? No, we'll talk about that later. But
you want to run through my Taco Bell order? Is that what you're going to say?
Well, we went to Whataburger first, Chris, so don't worry about that. But they did have 3 buses there, so throw that out. The next closest thing was Whataburger.
I had me an avocado bacon burger before we left.
I just got to say, the order our man put in at Taco Bell was pure solid gold.
Was it not good, though? Were y'all complaining about it?
It wasn't great. I think we were just hungry and tired.
Yes, we haven't eaten since we left.
If I could have pulled in that Whataburger and got a sweet and spicy burger or the grilled chicken wrap or something.
Look, I'm not saying the two are comparable, but we were, played the hand we were dealt, all right? And it worked out. It was fine.
It was not fine. It was terrible. And we walked it.
You ate that burrito in about 0.4 seconds. That's what it's starving.
I was starving. But when we walked in there and I said, Nasty, look at that. And it was just
ate a whole burrito before you put it in reverse.
It was cheese and lettuce everywhere. I said, let's just go wait at Walmart. Let's just go wait at Outpods.
I'm trying to take care of these boys, everyone on the road, but it is getting tough.
It is getting tough. You take us to get a quick lunch first. We get 4 things of queso. We get guacamole. We get some guac. We get a little appetizer quesadillas and something else. They bring the ticket out to $144. I mean, we got something so simple of entrees and appetizers.
I thought it was a joke.
$44 for appetizers.
There's about 15 people sitting down with us, and
I thought we were paying for that. I said, that's cool. It's Jalen's friends. We'll just get dinner for them, too. Oh, no, sir. That's for y'all. I was back in Phoenix. Hey, real quickly, the rest of the district tonight or Friday night, actually, not very many entertaining games. Obviously, we've got the good one. Barbers Hill goes to Baytown. Now, they are both 1-0. Galveston goes to Port Arthur. Beaumont U's open. But the big, just like last week, we got the big game in our District 9 5A. And you look at the other two that we try to keep you up on. It's going to be Blowout Central in District 11. LaPorte plays Kingwood Park. They're a 51-point favorite. And Angleton has Pasadena. They're a 54-point favorite. And in District 12 5A, you have got a lot of people are off this week. But Weiss, Austin Anderson, and College Station all have easy games this week. And A&M Consolidated is off. So you're not going to have any shakeups in District 11 and 12 5A this week.
Well, I guess that concludes our Texas High School football show. For we'll move over to college football. Friday night, Florida State, Virginia. Spoon was all over it. He's watching it. They stormed the field, Gary. They stormed the field. Nobody's ever stormed the field like that before. You know,
it was so
receiver. Somebody put on Twitter, the receiver.
I still haven't gotten an update on
phone one more time. Get out of Barbers Hill.
I said, we're driving home. We're busting up Barbers Hill, and all you want to talk about is storming the court. Come on, bro.
He was all over.
I mean, he was great.
He's sitting there at the end zone. Oh, my God, they just rushed the field. They just rushed the field.
I
mean, in top 10, going down to Virginia.
Virginia. They got a new coach. They pulled off an upset. I'm just saying, that poor Florida State receiver, I don't know if he got out of there alive.
Exactly. I mean, it was a sight to see. That's why I was glad I watched it. So I don't know.
So number 8 went down, and that really started off a flurry of college football for the weekend. Great game in Champaign. Number 21 USC goes down. Great game in Oxford. Ole Miss takes care of LSU. Indiana wins. A&M in the slugfest beats Auburn. And, of course, Alabama takes care of Georgia at home. Everybody saw that coming. And even though Alabama didn't score a point in the second half, they're still able to hold on and win.
No, I don't understand how one school can have so much room in a coach's head. But I guess if Stetson Bennett's not playing, they can't beat Alabama.
Yeah, you might be right. And, of course, my boy James Franklin kept me from a perfect 5-0 week with you boys. Of course, they're down 17-3 throughout most of the game. I kind of fell asleep. I woke back up, and I was like, it's 27-27. How'd that happen? But, of course, in pure James Franklin fashion, they lose in overtime.
Big game James comes through again. I mean, the record in –
okay, but he didn't throw the pick. He didn't throw the interception.
But he also hasn't won a game.
He's like called the play.
I mean, it's abysmal, his record against ranked teams.
I don't know why it is this, but the record is what the record is.
Like it's so bad. It's like 0-20 something.
You see, they kind of make.
Isn't he the one that said he hired his assistant coaches by how cute their wives were? Didn't he say that? He said it. I know if he can recruit a fine wife, he can probably do a little recruiting for players. Wasn't that James Franklin? That's one of my favorite lines. But man, he can't coach a good game.
Yeah.
I guess that's one way to do it.
I can recruit. I'll just tell you that.
But we start with the first game. We talked about Florida State, Virginia. TCU loses to Arizona State. We got back just in time to watch the rest of the Houston-Oregon State game, and it was a good one.
That game felt like it was on until 3 a.m.
Yeah, I was just out the shower and laid down. I saw, we got a football game on. I was like, go watch that. Ohio State takes care of business against Washington. We already talked about Oregon, Penn State. What about Ole Miss? Your boy Lane.
Hey, I saw since he got to Ole Miss, he's 31-3 at home. That's pretty good.
Is he going to the Swamp?
Yes. He's dropping.
I mean, I'm just saying at the house. They're up to number. Did you see the new poll? Yeah. So Ohio State's 1, Oregon's 2, Miami's 3, Ole Miss is 4, Oklahoma, A&M 6, Penn State, Indiana, Texas, and Alabama roll out the top 10.
Champion legit.
I just don't think that Ole Miss is that good. It's unbelievable. When I went and watched them play Arkansas, I just went, man, neither one of these defenses look very good. Arkansas's already fired their coach.
Oh, Trina.
I'm going next weekend. Washington's coming to town.
Oh, that'll be
to
fun.
Oxford.
Yep.
Huh. Man, we didn't have this wedding coming up, and I had a little bit more flexibility in that pocket. I'd be all on it, but a little spoon breaking us down, baby.
Boy, another dime trip. There are some big games, though. But, boy, I'm telling you, next weekend, it's off the hook.
It is.
Well, the people want us to talk about the Aggies first. They want us to talk about the Aggies. They're undefeated. They're number 6 in the country, Paul. They got a Heisman running quarterback.
They do.
Heisman running quarterback?
Yeah.
They got 3 games they got to win. They knocked out the first one. They got 2 more. Now, when they win those 2 ball games at home, then we'll start talking A&M football. But at some point, they're going to let us down. They're just like the Cowboys.
Mississippi State is headed to Cal Field this weekend. Let me tell you something.
It's a lock for them. Their dog just died. I mean, you're not going to lose that game. They painted the end zones black. It's a funeral. It's over.
Dog
Reveille died. Their dog died. They're sick.
Which one? Isn't there like 30 of them?
The younger one didn't die.
I don't know what number they're on at this point, but it died.
I mean, how do they decide how long they can go? Like, when you get to like 6 years old?
I saw that Reveille died. I text Cole, checked on Cole. They got another Reveille. It's going to be fine. They're all good. She was old age.
They hit a certain age, and, Reveille 9 is getting phased out for Reveille 10 or whatever they're on.
I'm saying they put a timestamp on these dogs. When my dog dies, that's like a year of mourning. These Aggies, the dog just gets a little limp. Hell, they bring in another one.
Literally, it was like a year or 2 ago. The dog went in, had surgery, had its eye taken out. Sad story. And then a week later, we're here to announce here's Reveille 45 or whatever she is.
Well, the dog that got his eyes taken out is probably happy he didn't have to watch that stuff. Come on, Jaylen, that's funny.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Nothing. Pause. Nothing else. They got a good one. 6:30. I think the biggest game there's two big ones this weekend. Miami, Florida State, which could have been bigger. Florida State could have won. I think Florida State's got a chance here. I'm not sold on Miami, but I'll tell you where the slapdown is going to come right now, and it's going to be in Tuscaloosa. You can't, and I love Pavia, and I love the coach at Vanderbilt, and I love the story, but man, Alabama has got to have their stinger up from last year and ready to just put their pan down on the Cavalier or Commodore.
Could you imagine if Vanderbilt beats Alabama 2 years in a row?
In Alabama, has that ever happened?
Tuscaloosa would be an all-timer. An all-timer. That would be.
Check TikTok.
I mean, Johnny Manziel's the only quarterback that wins in Tuscaloosa. Nobody else can.
Quinn Ewers did it.
Oh, okay, I forgot.
Jaron Thompson almost had a pick 6 that game.
Hey, I haven't got my – what 5 games are we picking for live from the Pines this week? So I'll show them I'm live from the sports book.
Yeah, we got to get that.
We're gonna pick Florida State, Miami. Who you got?
I got Florida State.
It's Miami. They have the best front 4 in college football.
No, they do.
Ruben Bain Jr. is a menace, and I think he started losing his hair at 17. But that man is legit.
They did not have the best front 4 in college football. I'm not going to argue with you about that. We don't have much time left. We'll argue later. We'll get this out later. We don't have much time left. We're on a time clock.
What's the line?
The line is, let's see, that's a 6:30 game. Miami minus 4.5.
I will have some Florida State plus 4.5 in the old portfolio. I can promise you.
No.
Yes.
I'm telling you right now, the Longhorns are only favored. The Longhorns are only favored by 6. They're not covering this game.
Texas wins. There's no doubt about it.
I'm not saying they don't, but I'm telling you, 21-20,
He's
21-17.
Billy Napier
He's trying to say
said verbatim, it's year 9 for me calling plays. I'm going to keep doing what got me here. Well, what got him here is a bottom 100 offense in the country, and they haven't scored over 10 points versus a power 4 team. They're averaging 11 points a game.
Jalen, I got to say, I've never talked so much Florida football until I joined Live from the Pines. Or at least since Tim Tebow retired.
Man.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, next week, hey, listen, next weekend is Watch Party Central. Yeah. Alabama's at Missouri. Ohio State's at Illinois. Washington State, as I said, goes to Ole Miss. Oklahoma, Texas. Indiana, Oregon. Georgia, Auburn, and the late game, Florida at A&M. Man, it is all day next Saturday.
You're gonna be in Oxford, right?
Yep.
Well, I cut my toe, and I don't know how much my walking situation is going to be, so I'm trying to buy my way out of that at the moment, but I haven't got there yet.
Can we buy you a scooter and get you to the Cotton Bowl?
Man, I wouldn't do it. Are y'all going to the Cotton Bowl?
I'm asking. Or we can go. Hey, we can even go watch the Cotton Bowl. What's that room called?
Oh, the Cosmo?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. By the way, I
forgot. Big shout out to our guy K-Man on his big goal. He
got an assist that tied the game up at 1, and right before half, he just scooted it past the goalie. He reached back there, pulled it out, and shot that arrow up, and he was flying the bird, boy. My man was fired up.
That's great. I would have been there, but when you text me and said you're headed to the ballpark, I just woke up.
Yeah, I figured y'all were in for late night Friday night, drowning your sorrows on that loss. But, hey, this Saturday we play at 8, so y'all come on out.
That makes it even better.
Yeah.
You're like, how do parents – what time do you have to get up 6:30 and get prepared for this?
Yeah, I got to get him up. I make him run around the block twice before we go to the field just to wake him up, and he hates it, but he goes and does it. If I take him out there at 7:45, he'd be a hot mess. He won't even Avery gives him a little coffee drink, and I make him run 2 laps, and then we go out there, and he's got a little momentum going.
There you go.
Then you got a chance to go check out our Panther basketball guys. They look pretty good this weekend.
Oh, they did look good. I tell you, I drove down to Saturday and watched them. I saw the second half of the first game. We lost a close one to that Austin kid. And then we played High School out of Louisville, who's got all kinds of athletes running out the wazoo. And the boys play good. Austin and little Burst can go. Tiny, Trip, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but just off the top of my mind, of course, I'm saying Tiny. Who the heck is Tiny? Little did I know it's one of our former Lufkin Panther cornerbacks kid and Victor Price. So, again, they got after it, won that second game going away at the end, and they're going to be fun to watch this year.
Well, hopefully in a few months we'll be watching some Lufkin Panther basketball and very nice packed facility and getting to watch our guy JT McManus make another run at it, and our guy Sadell Lamb and the Lady Pat, they're getting geared up too.
I know Coach Lamb's ready. He got Big Jeff Rogers' daughter's going to be ready to go this year, I think, right?
Yep, she's going to be ready to go this year also. So we look forward to that. But, right now it's just Panther football, baby. We just got to keep fighting.
Yep. All I'm telling you guys, go up to Tia Juanita's Friday night about, 5 o'clock. Get your little grub on. Come on out to A. Martin Stadium, and let's watch these Panthers get ready to take care of the Bruins of Westbrook. We don't need it. We got to have it.
Drive you right GMC up to A. Martin Stadium, and after that, it'll be time to get that Whataburger breakfast, or you still get your double cheeseburger at Whataburger.
Honey buttered chicken biscuit.
I'm not eating a honey butter chicken biscuit.
I'm not going to any other restaurant hunting with Trey ever again.
What do you get, a slushie?
Yeah, you got a slushie at Taco Bell. Who goes to Taco Bell and gets a slushie?
It's a frozen Baja Blast.
He goes, he already knew. He knew how to ask. He goes, is Baja Blast machine still going?
Yeah.
She goes, yeah, it's right over here. She's like, yeah, take it. She's like, oh, you want a drink? No, I want to buy a glass.
A freaking slushy at Taco Bell. Probably had ground meat in it as well. Who I don't even know. Taco sauce in it.
It's good.
Man. Well, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in live for the Pines tonight. We appreciate you guys. Make sure to go like, subscribe, follow us on all socials. Gary, go ahead and take us out of here.
Hit us up, baby, but I don't know about hitting that up as well. Our great sponsors, that's a Whataburger, Tia Juanitas, and Wright Buick GMC, baby. Let's go, baby. We got Friday night coming up. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock, and all I got to say is let's go Panthers.
What time's Coach show this week?
We'll replay our show starting at 4:30. So if you want to watch a replay of us breaking down the Barbers Hill and getting you ready for tonight's broadcast, that'll be coming on at 4:30 over there on Lufkin Game Time. And I'll be sitting down live on the track with our head coach and athletic director, Carl Absek, Friday game day at 5:30. Let's get it.
Let's get it. We'll see y'all Friday night. Make sure to come out, be loud, and support these kids. It ain't over yet, baby. It's just getting fun. It's homecoming. I think I had lunch today with Wes Welch, and he told me it's his 50th class anniversary. So there's going to be a lot of people out there.
Oh,
and he told me today 8 of his starting offensive players, his teammates, will be there. So there's going to be a lot of season out there this week. So make sure you get out there.
They only played 9 and had leather helmets back then, didn't
they? Did he wore a shirt to lunch today? It was some shirt he got at a golf course. And I'm telling you, this thing is probably older than you, Gary. Like it was so old but nice, but the collar you can tell he's played so much golf in it that the collar just had like a little hook to it. And it wasn't, it wasn't budging. Like it's basically I took it to your cleaners and I said, I want you to starch it just like this.
I got sprayed for that, Pop. I got
sprayed. Before I left, he has a jersey that he wore it to the club one night. We did the Ace in the Hole a year ago. And it was like, I guess, we're your favorite football team. And he wore his jersey. He still has his jersey. And when I tell you these things are classic, it reminds me of like the video, like the picture you always see of Bo Jackson. And he's like in that, old classic jersey. And like it just sits in your head.
Ones with it.
Yeah. It just sits at your head.
That old jersey still fit?
Yeah, it does fit him. It fits pretty good.
I bet it was snug.
He couldn't get shoulder pads under it anymore, but it fits.
Yeah.
Well, that's it from us tonight. Like I said, tune in again Friday, 4:30. We'll be live again. Talk to you guys later.